Today we are going to see a very important difference between a client and OS. Client and server. So what is client? Client is normally in networking, client is defined as the machine. It may be a laptop, it may be a desktop, or it may be a handheld device or mobile which uses services on the network. That is called as client. And as far as server is concerned, in a simple language, server can be defined as the machine who shares or who provides some service is known as server. So client is nothing but the machine who is using the service on the network, whereas server is nothing but a machine who provides service on the network. So the first thing is what type of service? What type of service a server can provide on a network? So as I told you in my very first lecture, which I've conducted in your classroom, that related to Unit 4 and Unit 5, which we started in our classroom, actual classroom in PICT college. So there I told you that a server and client. So server and client, they are connected on a network. So the machine who provides services known as server and the machine who uses the service known as client. So what type of service is being provided by the server? Server provides two types of services. Number one, hardware resource sharing and software resource sharing. What is this hardware resource sharing? So as I told you, if a machine is connected with a printer or a scanner or a CD writer or a DVD writer. So such type of hardwares, let us say scanner and printer, you can connect to one machine and it can be shared. So that machine, you call it as a server. So in your laboratory, you might have used the shared printer. So what is this printer sharing? This is nothing but sharing the printer on a network by a machine called as printer server. So printer is connected to a machine, let us say in your operating system or desktop. There you connect this printer and share it. So it becomes server. So it becomes a hardware resource sharing servers. Have you understood? So a machine, you can connect a hardware also, and there you can call it as a printer server. So this is called as hardware resource sharing. Second thing which I told you is software resource sharing. The machine to which this printer is connected and shared is called as printer server. Likewise, the different types of softwares are coming with licenses. For example, in your VLSI lab, okay, you have the different softwares like Xilinx, Model Sim, Leonardo Spectrum. Such type of softwares you can purchase a single floating server license copy and you can share it on one machine. So other 29 machine, let us say VLSI machine has 30 different number of PCs in the lab. So one machine, you take this software and share it, called as license sharing or software sharing. So once you share that license, remaining 29 pieces which are connected to this server can use the shared license of that software. So called as software server. Is it clear to you? So I told you that there are two types of machine. One is client and another is server. Client uses the resources shared by server, whereas server provides the different resources. Please keep this in your mind. So server, what type of resources can be shared? A hardware resource sharing or a software resource sharing. Hardware resource sharing is nothing but printer sharing, etc. And software resource sharing, a license of that specific software can be shared. So how can you define client and server? Client uses service and server provides service. Now second point, one more definition is there. Please keep this in your mind. Here in this slide, if you see, See, left side table indicates the different client OS. Let us say Windows related things I am talking about, the different operating systems which are related to Windows I am talking about. Okay, so it is Windows. See, left side table indicates the server operating system, and right side PCs or the tables, they are indicating different client OS. Then you will ask me, or you are supposed to ask me, what is this client machine and what is this server machine? So keep this in your mind. The definition is going to remain same. Any machine, whether it is client operating system or server operating system, any machine, if you share something, it becomes server. If you share something on network, then it becomes server. So what is the question? Let us say the client operating systems like Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, can they become server? See, right side table indicates all these are client operating system. Basically, hello, right side table indicates all are client operating system. Left side table indicates that they are server operating system. But what we define, any machine, whether it is client operating system or server operating system, if they share something, it becomes server. The meaning is Windows 7. Take an example of Windows 7. Windows 7 is basically a client operating system. So if you share a single folder on Windows 7 operating system, it becomes a folder server. Please keep this in your mind. If you take printer and share and connect it to Windows 7 machine, so it becomes a printer server, irrespective of whether it is client OS or server OS. Please keep this in your mind. What we define, a client and a server. Client uses service and server provides service or shares the service. Then how this Windows 7 can become server? If you take Windows 7 machine and if you take one of the folder and if you share it, it becomes a folder server. If you take a printer and connect to a Windows 7 machine and if you share it, it becomes a printer server. Though Windows 7 is client operating system. Please keep this in your mind. Then you are supposed to ask me why these server operating systems are different and client operating systems are different. First of all, commercial aspect. Let us say Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10. Okay, if you consider these are nothing but client operating system. So what's the difference between these operating system and if you go for Windows Server 2016, left side, Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2008 R2. So what's the difference between these operating system and these operating system? So if you compare the table 1 and table 2, you will immediately understand that first aspect is commercial thing. The cost of client operating system is less and the cost of server operating system is more. Second question is why? The answer is the different built-in servers are there in server operating system. For example, web server, FTP server, telnet server, HTTPS server, DNS server, proxy server. These are the different applications which are being used nowadays for internet, in internet communication. So let us start with a web server. What is the function of web server? What is the function of web server? Web server is the machine who hosts the website. Please keep this in your mind. The machine who hosts the website or web page called as a web server. FTP server, the machine who hosts the FTP site by sharing the different files, a huge files directly called as FTP server. Then telnet server, it's a remote execution utility. Remotely you can operate the machines. So for that you require telnet server to be installed. Proxy server, proxy server is the machine which is being used to share the internet connection among n number of users. So let us say in PICT, 4,000 users are there. All those 4,000 users are connected to internet through proxy server. One public IP address which we have purchased from provider. So service provider in PICT, okay, it's a Reliance service provider. Or you can deliberately search and find out what is the. So please keep this in your mind. So like a proxy server. Just now I told you web server, proxy server, FTP server, telnet server. These different servers are built in server operating system. Whereas these servers are not available in Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10. That's why the cost of license of this Windows client OS, they are less compared to this server OS, because in server operating system, these servers are built in. You just have to configure. You don't have to install in this server operating system. Whereas in client operating system, if you really want to convert this client operating system into server operating system, then you need to install those server extra separately in this client OS. So have you understood the basic difference between client and server, and client OS and server OS? So client uses the services on network, whereas server provides services on the network. What type of services? Hardware resource sharing, like printer sharing, and another is software resource sharing, like a folder sharing, or like a license of any software can be shared with the help of software resource sharing. Then now you have understood client and server difference. Then we have seen client OS and server OS. So client OS here, like Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, and other server operating system like Windows Server 2016, 2012. What is the basic difference? The different servers like web server, FTP server, telnet server, proxy servers, they are built in server operating system, and you just need to configure it. Whereas in client operating system, if you really want to install this server, you have to separately take those server installable, and you have to install it, and accordingly you have to configure it. So this is the basic difference. Now finally, conclusion: what is client and what is server OS? What is client and server? So in one language we can say, or we can define that client uses the service and server provides the service, in irrespective of whether it is client OS or server OS. That is what the definition of this client and server. Now next, we will go ahead, another slide. Which is your favorite industry? Which is the problem area and brainstorm solution? Okay. Compare the solutions with your objectives and opportunities, and focus on the most promising opportunity. Now we'll move ahead. Now if you see, as I told you, different types of LAN technologies are there, different types of WAN technologies are there. Up to router, you use LAN technologies. Up to and beyond router, you are going to use WAN technologies. So as far as LAN technologies are concerned, we have selected in our campus as a Ethernet technology. Okay, and as far as WAN technologies are concerned, we are using PPP oblique slip technology in PICT campus for WAN communication. Okay, so now after seeing that a difference between a client server and client OS and server OS, we will see some features of Ethernet. why we have selected Ethernet as a LAN technology in our campus. So if you see Ethernet, some features of Ethernet they are given. Ethernet networks are easy to explain and cheap to install. Ethernet network components such as network cards and connectors, they are cheap and well supported. It is a well proven technology which is fairly robust and reliable. It is simple to add and delete computers on the network. It is supported by most software and hardware systems. It is simple and inexpensive. No layer 2 switches are required, and it is easy to send message to everyone. So try to understand. We have selected Ethernet technology. What other technologies we just listed last time in our presentation? That token ring technology is there, token bus technology is there, and another is Ethernet technology. So we have selected Ethernet technology in our campus, and accordingly the LAN communication is going on. So this is what the some features of Ethernet technology which we are using in our campus. Okay, so now we'll move ahead some features. So as far as experimentations are concerned, we are using a combination of Windows 7 and other operating system because of their features. And as far as students aspects are concerned, why we are using this Windows based operating system for this local area network and related practicals. They are nothing but better software compatibility, hardware and device compatibility, a simple installation procedure, better plug and play support, multitasking support, highly secured, more stable, and excellent network support. Now we will start with the network model. Any communication, whether it is local area network communication or whether it is uh, internet communication, any PC, okay, or any laptop, it should be classified either as a peer-to-peer system or server client-based system. So in two models only, any PC which is connected in LAN or which is connected in WAN can be configured. Please keep this in your mind. So it should be either part of peer-to-peer based network or it should be a part of server client based network. So this is very, very important. Okay. So now let us start with what is this peer-to-peer server, peer-to-peer network model and server client network model. Now peer-to-peer advantages. The first advantage is it does not require a Windows Server domain controller, simple design and implementation, and convenient for limited number of workstation. So please keep this in your mind that server operating system is not required. If you are a part of peer-to-peer based network, then you don't have to purchase a server operating system. Any client operating system you can take and you can go ahead with that. Second, simple design and implementation. And number three, convenient for limited number of workstation. Please keep this in your mind. So if the number of clients they are less, then you have to go for this peer-to-peer peer-to-peer model. Otherwise you have to go for client server model. So it is convenient for limited number of workstation. So now in another word you can say individual and independent administration. So whatever laboratories which are available in your PICT campus, in our PICT campus, they are peer-to-peer configured model as far as ENTC is concerned. For example, you take an example of DSP lab in which you are doing ITCC and practicals. So there you will find Windows based 30 machines are there. So peer to peer such type of network is configured in that lab because you will not find any server machine over here. Second thing is what's the disadvantage of peer to peer system? The disadvantage is no centralized account management. inefficient for the networks that have many workstation, and limited centralized administration control. So 30 machines are there in your DSP lab. Every machine is individually and independently handled. So there is no centralized administration. That is what the disadvantage of peer-to-peer machine. Because let us say 30 machines are there, different passwords are there, different configurations are there. One can remember all those passwords and all these things. But if you talk about 1,000 machines to be administered, then it will become highly difficult to administer that network. So another is nothing but server client. So server client type of model is a centralized account maintenance, secured administration, and efficient for networks that have many workstations. But what is the problem with server client? In there will be a one server and another 1,000 machines. They are going to be controlled with the help of this server client model. So what's the problem with this server client? Requires at least one Windows server domain controller. You have to purchase a server operating system. Continuous administration is required, otherwise network is going to collapse, because if server fails, all the clients which are working under that server is going to be failed. And number three, additional planning is required, and skilled and qualified administrator is required. So try to understand ki if you consider server client, then there has to be a server domain controller, continuous administration is required, and additional planning is required. So now in oral exam normally it is asked, how you practically know whether it is server client model or peer to peer model. So all of you give in attention, all of you give attention. If your machine on a network is a part of work group, then it is called as peer to peer network. And if it is a part of client server model, then it is known as if it is a part of domain controller, then it is known as client server model. Have you understood this? How to practically know whether your machine is a part of peer to peer based network or client server based network? So for any Windows operating system, you go to my computer icon, right click it, properties. In advanced you will find comp name, and comp name below comp name you will find one option, that work group or domain controller. So please keep this in your mind. If it is a part of work group, then it is a peer to peer network. But if it is a part of domain controller, then it is a server client machine. Please keep this in your mind. It may be asked in your oral examination, whether it will be a part of ITCCN exam or communication or computer network in next semester. Now, the next point which we are going to see is establishment for network. So now, step by step, now we will see how to establish a network, how to establish a network. Now, what are the different steps for network establishment? So the first step, step by step, we will see connection of PCs. Now try to understand, if you are able to establish a network between two PCs, then you can think of establishing a network among 30 PCs. So take an example of your any laboratory, take two PCs. So connection of PCs. Take two PCs. First of all, operating system must be installed on both the machine. So see this connection of PCs. So you have to connect these two PCs using Cat5 wire. Number two, operating system installation on both the machine. Number three, LAN card driver installation called as NIC, Network Interface Card Driver installation. So take two PCs, install operating system on those two machines, then install a LAN driver on both the operating system, then configuring TCP/IP to identify the network, to identify the machine on a network. You have to give the IP address to both the machine. So give IP address to both the machine, and it should be unique. So what type of IP address? So in addresses, I already told you in your assignments which were uploaded on a Google Classroom that different types of addresses are there. MAC address, IP address, port address, and application specific address. So I'm talking about IP address. So IP address, it can be IP version 4, it can be IP version 6. And if you talk about IP address, it can be a private IP address or it can be a public IP address. So unique IP address which you have to enter on your machine. One process that you can enter the IP address manually, and another is nothing but DHCP, that is dynamic host configuration protocol. So automatically allocation of IP address to your machine. So any method you can use to avoid the IP address conflict. Normally DHCP IP address allocation process is used in our campus. So whenever you get connected to internet, the authentication server in our PICT campus allocates IP address to your machine or laptop, and then it is getting connected to internet. So what is the third process? IP address should be there to your machine. Then unique component. Okay. Normally, whenever you get your computer get connected to internet, you never see what computer name is given to your machine. But please keep this in your mind that computer name has to be unique. Otherwise, there will be if two computers are there on local area network with same name, please keep this in your mind. If two computers on a local area network has the same name, there can be a name conflict and the problem start in local area network communication. So what is the basic requirement? Computer name should be unique and unique IP address should be given to your machine for a local area network communication, LAN communication, or internet communication. And finally, two machines are there and you have to connect this using Cat5 cable or a repeater or intelligent switch or layer 2 switch. Have you understood? Where the switch is required, if more than two PCs you need to connect, then you have to require a centralized switch. Let us say in our laboratory, 24 port switches are installed. So what is the meaning of that? On that switch, 24 different machines can be connected and they can communicate with each other. That is called as LAN communication. And not only that, all these 24 machines, they are connected to server room and they can have the internet communication. So now within 2 minutes now or within a minute, we will revise. Now you have understood what is peer-to-peer network, client server based networks. Now how to communicate on a network. So you have to start with two PCs. If you are able to install, if you are able to establish a network between two PCs, then you can establish a network among n number of PCs. So how to establish a network between two PCs? So these are nothing but steps required for network establishment. First of all, two machines you take, install operating system. Number two, on both the machine, you installed LAN driver or network interface card driver. If you don't install driver, it will not be recognized by operating system. Then third process is configuring TCP/IP, where unique IP address you have to give to both the machine. Then unique comp name you have to give it to both the machine, and connection using two machines using category 5 cable and repeater or intelligent hub. If only two machines you are connecting, you don't require any switch in between. But if you want to communicate among 40 different, or let us say 24 different machines, then you will require an intelligent switch for communication. So please keep this in your mind. So these are the steps. And if you are able to establish a network between two PCs, then you can have a network among n number of PCs. Same process you have to repeat for other machine. and you can have a establishment of network, that is LAN, among n number of PCs. Next, now operating system is installed, these two machines are connected, then wire is connected, driver is installed, IP address is given. What next? See, what, why we are doing all these things? We are doing all these things to have a data communication between two PCs. Then how to connect these two machines? So different types of options are there. Network neighborhood in Windows operating system, or my network places, such type of options are there. In Linux also different options are there. So we will see one by one how to connect now two machines, how to connect these two machines on a network. So let us see. If you go for this, let us say Windows 2000 operating system. So Windows 2000 operating system, if you see, so in this Windows 2000, see, this is the icon, my network places. With the help of this icon, if you double click it, all the machines which are in a local area network, you can see over here. So you select one of the machine and you double click it. So whatever shared resources are there, so what are the different shared resources? It can be a shared printer, it can be a shared folder, or it can be a shared software license. So you can directly access with the help of this. Then next is, let us say Windows XP. If you are going for Windows XP, see this, my network places. This is the option. If you double click it, then you will get all these machines which are connected in your local area network. So you select one of the machine, double click it, and whatever shared resources are there, you can directly access this. Now, if you go for Windows 7 operating system, so for this Windows 7 operating system, see this computer. If you double click this my computer in control panel, you will find all the machines and the list of all these machines over here. So you select one of the machine, double click it, and whatever shared resources are there, you can directly access. Now, this is about Windows machine. Now we will see, let us say Linux, how to communicate. Two machines are there on which, let us say, Red Hat Linux is installed. Red Hat Linux is there, then you have Ubuntu Linux, then you have different types of Linux version. So let us start with this Red Hat. So Red Hat operating system is there, Linux operating system. Now how to communicate using this Red Hat? So if you see this application places system, in system you have preferences. In your more preferences, you will find network connection, and with the help of this network connection, you can communicate. The second option which is available in Red Hat is, see this, application places, connect to servers, and these are the different options. Windows share. So click it, enter the IP address, and immediately you can communicate on this network with the help of this Red Hat Linux operating system. Please keep this in your mind. So this is about Linux Red Hat. Now, if you go